Okay, Joe Franco here, and by request I want to talk about the stiff-legged or the Romanian deadlift with a barbell and or dumbbells. Now this exercise is really the main focus on your hamstrings, your glute hamstring tie-in, and a little bit of your hip flexors. It's not a deadlift per se from the floor, where it's not as violent of an exercise, but more of a feel and focus type of concentration movement. More slow and controlled is really the goal here. Now, a lot of times you'll hear the term stiff-legged deadlift. I like to say it's still-legged, because you don't want your legs to be totally stiff, straight. That puts a little too much pressure on your lower back. What I like to do, and what I instruct my clients, is to have the knees slightly bent throughout the whole motion, even on the up. And that, for that one reason, that protects your lower back and actually allows you a little more stretch while keeping that arch to your back. And I'm going to explain that to you in a second. So the focus, what you want to do is grab a barbell, a dumbbell. You want to be about shoulder width grip as far as your grip goes, and that's where you're going to be your strongest point. Your knees are slightly bent, and you're going to keep that throughout the whole motion. I like to tell people to throw yourself back on your heels so you're feeling the stretch, and your hands are going to be about an inch or two below your knees, or about 90 degrees at the waist. Any further, then you have the tendency to hyperextend and you can roll your back, and it's really not worth it. Nor is, you see the old school guys standing on a bench and just dropping down, rolling their backs over. Well, the idea is you want to keep your back totally straight, and that allows a better stretch in the hamstring. Like I was saying before, keep your knees slightly bent, balance on your heels, throw your hips back. It's almost to the point that you can wiggle your toes. And by doing that, you're transferring the energy to your hamstrings. And by keeping your chest up, arching your back, pinning your shoulders back, you're going to get a better stretch rather than rolling forward. So those are the keys that you want to take into place when using dumbbells or a barbell. So again, just a quick little review. Shoulder width. I like having my feet parallel. Throw the hips back, balance on the heels, knees slightly bent, and then straighten right up and pause, catch your breath. It doesn't have to be a fluid motion. Like a regular deadlift, it's more of a violent exercise where you're pulling from the floor and exploding, coming straight up, and then you're going down at a faster tempo. Well, the resistance on this, the negative, have you reducing yourself down to the ground. That is where all your strength is going to come from. So you want to resist and then pull hard. It's more controlled. Down slow, exhale, and bring it up. This is a typical pace that I'll keep with the exercise. Knees slightly bent, throw the hips back, feel the stretch, and pull up. Now, if you're having trouble feeling the stretch, a little tip is that you can put your feet up on a pair of 10-pound or 5-pound plates, and that'll just distribute it back a little bit more on your heels. It can be done with dumbbells, and the nice thing with the dumbbells is it frees you up a little bit. The barbell forces you in the direction, and you have to stay that way. The dumbbells, I like to keep with a neutral stance of your hands, which is right here. You're not forcing it by your sides or in front. Same idea with the legs. Just lower the weight down about an inch or two, or about 90 degrees at the hips, and then pull and breathe. Okay? So from the side, feet are just inside shoulder width. Weight's right here, knees slightly bent. Feel the stretch, hips going back, and pulling yourself up. So that is the stiff-legged or still-legged, or sometimes people will even call it the Romanian type deadlifts. When I do heavier weight, I will wrap up for this, only because it's a slower motion and I'm not touching the ground. So, with the heavier weight, I'll wear the old school wraps, both hands on top. Regular deadlifts, I'm going to get into that one next time around. That is, a pure, violent, pulling up hard, and I just like chalking up, using a raw grip, mix without wraps. So hopefully that's helpful. You take some tidbits from that movement, the Romanian stiff-legged deadlift. Again, slow and controlled, feeling it out, starting out. You'll feel the stretch. As far as rep ranges go, I do like going a little bit higher reps to get the blood flow in there, but always feel free to mix it up. So any questions, feel free to email me at fitfranco@verizon.net. Check out the website, Facebook page at Team Franco Bodybuilding, and that's about it. Thank you.